I'm unapologetic for my new ways. Crystals on my neck, you disrespect, I'm still gon' get your face. Pockets look like they can't breathe, that's those blue faces. In the G ain't on my frequency, put fire to a sage.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome to Truth Be Told Credit Undercover. I am your girl, Shanice Love, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the number one surefire way to increase your credit score in as little as 30 days. Now, before we jump into this, be sure to hit the subscribe button if you have not already done so. Be sure to share us with the world. Let them know that we are here. We are dropping gems. And also hit the bell so you can get a notification of every single time we drop a new video. So, what is the number one surefire way to increase your credit score in as little as 30 days? Well, first let's talk about the different factors that make up your credit score. So payment history is number one at 35%. Utilization is number two at 30%. Age of credit history is number 3 at 15. New credit is number 4 at 10. And credit mix is number 5, also at 10%. Those are the factors that make up your overall credit score. So now that you know the factors that make up your overall credit score along with the weight, let's talk about the number one surefire way to increase your credit score in as little as 30 days. So we're going to tackle utilization. Utilization just basically means what is the balance that is being reported to the credit bureau at the end of your bill cycle every month. And what you want to do is make sure that you have your utilization at 10% or lower every single time your cycle closes. Now, how do you do that? You need to keep track of these two things. 1, your bill due date. 2, your cycle end date or statement end date. Now, the bill due date is important is because you always want to make sure you make your payments on time. And so if you don't have a lot of funds, you want to make sure you at least pay the minimum payment due by the bill due date, okay? Now, the cycle end date is typically 7 to 8 days after that, and that is important because that is the day that the credit card companies typically report to the big 3. So here is how knowing your bill due date and your cycle end date is going to help you navigate utilization easy, okay? So if you have a credit card that has a limit of $1,000, you want to make sure that by the time your bill cycle end date comes around or your statement date comes around, you do not have a reported balance of more than $100. 10% of utilization. So if you can only make a minimum payment by the bill due date, so let's say your bill due date is the 20th of every month. If you can only make a minimum payment by that date, that's fine. Do that so that you're not late. But you have between the 20th and the 27th, the 28th, depending on the credit card, to make a larger payment, bringing your utilization down. So as long as that larger payment is made by the cycle end date, your utilization will be reported at 10% or lower. Okay. Now, if you can really manage it, I suggest that you do 2 to 1% because that's just going to help you rock it out. Now, a best practice that I use is that I actually have a utilization of 0% every time my bill cycle comes along, okay? Now, that works for me because I've had my credit cards for a couple of years, and so I already have an established relationship with the credit card company, and they're very much aware of how I use my credit card. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you do 0% if you don't have that relationship yet. You want to make sure that you leave at least a balance of 10% or lower, and that you pay a little bit of interest on that because that's going to help you and that credit card company know that they can make a little bit of money from you because you know that's all it's about. And that you'll be able to make the payments and be responsible. So if you don't have that relationship, like I said, 10% or lower is going to be great. If you do have that relationship like I do, try to do 2 to 1% or 0 utilization just to keep yourself where you need to be. All right. So there you go. That is the tip for today. Remember, be patient. You got this.
I'm unapologetic for my new ways. Crystals on my neck, you disrespect, I'm still gon' get your face. Pockets look like they can't breathe, that's those blue faces. In the G ain't on my frequency, put fire to a sage.